Hello, my name's Julie Williams. I'm a registered migration agent with Migration Downunder, and I'm here to talk about New Zealand citizens. We have many New Zealand citizens living here in Australia and contributing to the economy, but there's always a lot of confusion around whether you are a permanent resident already, whether you are a temporary resident and how you become a resident or how you become a citizen. There is so many questions because it is quite complex, and it's all determined on your date of arrival in Australia and how long you've lived here and at what stage that you've lived here, because you may have lived here for a very, very long time. You may have lived here back in the 80s and then you've left and come back in. Now, back then you were deemed to be considered a permanent resident, but this all changed quite some time ago. And each time you have a new passport, a new entry, the system may not recognise you as a permanent resident. And so that's where sometimes you can actually have your residency reinstated, or you can also then be considered as a citizen, depending on the length of time that you've lived here in Australia. For the rest of you who have perhaps arrived after 2001 and February 2001, I think it's the 26th if I remember off the top of my head, you are not necessarily already deemed a permanent resident. But look, that's a long time ago now, that's 20 years ago. And you have possibly been living and working, contributing, paying all your taxes and can't understand why you're not a permanent resident. You do actually have to apply. Now, there is a particular stream for New Zealand citizens who have lived here prior to the 19th of February 2016. If you've been working and living here for 5 years, contributing with the economy by paying taxes and earning a minimum set income, then it is possible that you can apply for permanent residency. And that's the 189 New Zealand skilled stream. There's sometimes questions arise as far as what if I was living here prior to that time and then I departed and I haven't been back, for the last so many years. Then there may not be an option for you because you have to have been living consecutively prior to that date and only left Australia afterwards for a short period of time and returned. So you will have had to have had some form of income and showing that you have got that minimum tax assessment each year. But look, it gets a little bit more complex. So if your situation you feel that is not quite straightforward, then we would need to book a consultation for you to discuss further. But as a permanent resident, as a New Zealand citizen living here, there are, options of becoming a permanent resident. Unfortunately, the processing is very slow at the moment, and the department are prioritising in other areas as per their announcements through the budget for this financial year. So you can see there are significant delays, but that's not been stopping you from remaining working here and living as a New Zealand citizen on a permanent basis. I know there's quite a few of you that might be anxious because you've got children wanting to go to university or other areas where certain benefits are not able to be accessed because of your status here in Australia. But look, there are different pathways, and it does seem a little bit unfair that if you did arrive after 2016, you're not eligible for that pathway for a New Zealand stream. There may be other options for you under a skilled migration. But I do know that both our governments are sort of considering re-looking at this. It was set in place back in 2016, but they're always updating it and always renew it. So don't give up hope of becoming an Australian permanent resident and citizen. If you are a New Zealand citizen and you have been working and paying your taxes as you rightly feel that you should have that added benefit of becoming a permanent resident of Australia. But keep tuned with our social medias. We'll continue to update you. Otherwise, there is further information on our website. But if you feel that you still require assistance, then we're happy to book a consultation with you to discuss your individual circumstances.